Hello, friend. How are you doing today? If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the collective, and if you're returning, I'm really excited to see you, and I hope things are doing better than last time we talked. That being said, today I want to talk about what blocks and barriers are keeping you from being able to move forward. What in this moment now is the underlying cause of whatever has you feeling stuck, like you can't move forward, like it's almost like you're on a hamster wheel and you're just looking for the right solution. So, of course, being solution oriented, I like to find the underlying cause because the obvious cause is typically not the actual problem. There's typically things underneath the surface that are creating our current situation, and I like to address those. So, let's get into it. Imagination and reality are scheduled to be inverted. So, it's a cool card. It's a little trippy. But this is one of those things where you have to remember that your thoughts create your reality. And I know you're probably going to want to click off right away and say, nope, not following this. But hear me out for a second because there's science behind this. Like, this isn't me just being woo and spiritual. This is actual science. Because here's the deal. Your thoughts create radio waves. And those radio waves send out signals to the area around you. And science has also proven that like calls to like. So whether you like it or not, this is something that science can prove. Here's the thing. If you keep talking and thinking about negative things, you're going to attract negative things to you because that's how the universe works. That's how particles work. That's how things work. Now, you're going to get mad at me and you're saying, so Kirsten, you're saying that I asked for this. That's not what I'm saying either. What I'm saying is you have the ability to either let yourself suffer in the experience that you're going through, or you have the ability to create and build from it and do better, to do differently, to do something more. In order for you to do that, though, it starts with your thoughts. So, yes, right now, you're probably not in a great situation, and I get that. Trust me, I've been in my own shitty situations plenty of times. I have not lived the happy-go-lucky life. I've lived the hard-knock life where I've had to live paycheck to paycheck and, I've had to let things lapse and it's not been great, okay? So I've been there, done that. What I'm getting you to understand, though, is I had to change my attitude. I had to change my thoughts. I had to do affirmations in order for me to be able to see my life differently so that way I could create a life where I'm not doing that, where I am happy, where I still have struggles. I still have things that come at me. I still have negative experiences. But instead of letting those negative experiences define me, I choose to see what I can create out of it. And I choose to allow that to become my reality. Who cares if we become nothing? We were all nothing once. We were all once nothing. Who cares if we become nothing? We were all once nothing. So this is important too, because there's a lot of people who want to leave a legacy, who want to have, themselves be known for something, who just, want to have this impact on the world. And I get it. Who doesn't want that? But here's the thing. The most important thing you can do is just be the best version of you that you can be. Because I'm not gonna lie, actors from the 1920s who were celebrities, I don't know any of their names except for maybe one or two that I've heard my grandparents talk about. And they were people once. They were known. They were highly known. And yes, you have names like Cleopatra and Alexander the Great, and those are things that are stay in history, but we can't all be those people. But what you can do, and what matters the most, is you can be someone that the people around you feel like their world is changed for the better. You can be somebody when they're around you that they know, oh, this person is, just genuine and inspiring and fun to be around. That's what matters. So don't focus on trying to be some celebrity or be some big thing. Just focus on being the best version of you that you can be and know that that's going to be the thing that impacts the world more than trying to get your name to be written down in history. You choose every piece of content you consume. Very literal card, but also a card that, I find specifically in today's society we need to remember. And content is more than just you watching this video. Content is you, watching the news. It's what you read. It's what you eat. It's what it is that you choose to partake in when, you're out with your friends and, the discussions you have even. Like, yes, honestly, the word content in today's day and age literally is just a video typical meaning. But content is literally anything that you take into your brain. Anything that you choose to ponder about when you go shopping, anything that you choose to gossip about when you're with friends, anything that you allow yourself to listen to when you're anywhere. So you choose. You get to choose. And think about the power behind that. If you don't want to be riddled and around a bunch of negativity, well, then you can choose not to be. You can choose to find positive podcasts. You can choose to find uplifting videos. You can choose to hang out with people who are supportive and not gossipers. So you choose every piece of content you consume, not just social media content. Being out of ideas is just another idea. So this card is kind of aggravating at first, because when you see it, you're like, that doesn't even make sense. Here's the deal though. When you've exhausted every possible option, and I'm going to say possible in quotes, because when you've exhausted every possible option, the truth of the matter is that there's still something that you haven't thought of, because it's not about you thinking about it, it's just you doing. It's literally, there's a point where you just have to say, F it, you know what? I don't know, I'm not going to figure it out, I'm just going to do it and see how it goes. That is an idea. Just winging it is literally an idea. And here's the other thing too. Don't worry about what it's going to look like. Don't worry about how it's going to be. Don't worry about the end game. Just get into the action of doing it. Because if you're actively doing something, you're gonna find inspiration. Even if it's you, saying, I want to create something, and you have no idea what you're going to create, and then you just pick up, a pen and paper, start doodling, something's going to come to you. And it's about letting it come to you and not you forcing it to happen. So now I want to ask the tarot cards. I specifically want to ask them what it is that has led us to believe that we don't have control or influence over our world right now, our life. Now, when I say your world, I mean your specific, you as a person, not the world at large, because there's a lot of chaos going on in the world at large. I'm talking about the things that you can control and why you think you don't have control over them, because you have given your power away. You've given your power to something that is other people's voices, is other people's fears. And if you live in America, trust me, I understand there's a lot outside of our control right now that affects all of us. And 100%, I'm being affected by that stuff too. But with that being said, I still choose to find optimism. I still choose to focus on hope. And I still choose to do actions that make differences. So understand that when I'm saying that you're giving away your power, it's because you're forgetting that you have the ability to make choices and differences in your life that can affect and change your life, which then can affect and change other people's lives. So let's reclaim that power back. The Seven of Cups, and it's in the reverse position, which means that you had a bunch of options and you made a decision. And I'm not saying that those other options that you had available to you are gone. That's not it at all. It's just you had a bunch of opportunities and you chose one, and now you aren't sure about it. You're doubting it. You're thinking that, oh no, is this the right one for me? Should I have done something differently? What else can I do? Here's the fun thing about life. Just because you chose an option doesn't mean you're stuck with it for life. You can change your mind. You can pivot. You can adjust. You can do something else. It's there's this weird concept that people kind of get themselves stuck in, where you bought one car, cool, and then you find out that the car is too small for you and that you need more leg space and you need a bigger storage rack and everything else. But oh no, this is my car. I can't change my car. This is the car that I chose. It's not how life works. If the car doesn't work for you, if it's not right for you, get a different car. Like, and yeah, you're gonna say, Kirsten, it's about affordability, blah, 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 blah. It's a metaphor. Work with me here. So yeah, like, it's one of those things where you made a choice and you're feeling like this choice isn't the right one anymore, and that you feel like right now you can't do anything differently, but you can. You have the ability to change. You have the ability to say, this isn't what I thought it was, and I want something different, and go after it. And then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is always about rest, but the hard part and the aggravating part for most people to do is the active part of rest. What do I mean by active part of rest? Well, you aren't going to be sitting on the couch thinking about all the bills that you need to pay and the fact that you need to do the laundry, take out the trash, do the dishes, what's going to be for dinner, do the kids have all their homework done, what are our weekend plans? Like, that's not actively resting. That's you actively stressing. So when I say active resting, I literally mean you sitting on the couch and just turning the brain off. Yeah. I don't care if you have to binge watch Netflix. I don't care if you have to read a book. I don't care if you have to crochet. I don't care if you have to do anything to get that head to be silent. But that is what active rest is. And when I have it in its reverse position, it's telling me that you're not allowing yourself to do that. That when you are resting, you are still doing things. You're still going after things. You're still finding yourself in a position of, I just can't and I'm not able to, and then accepting that for what it is. You need to let yourself rest. You need to stop resisting it. All right, then we have the Sun card. So when I see the Sun, this tells me that you've recently learned something, that there's a lesson that you've completed and you're excited about it. You understand where you're going to move forward with it, and you're never going to have to repeat it again. It's kind of like learning your multiplication tables. Once you learn them, you learn them. Like, I mean, yeah, every once in a while I have to do the math in my head, but I still know how to do it. Like, it's not a repeated process. The only difference was I wasn't excited about learning my multiplication tables, but you're excited about whatever this lesson is. Like, you're really excited about the thing that you did. And while I see this card and I see the fact that, like, up here, it's that we feel that we have no power, there's something that you have that needs to be shared that's exciting. And I feel like these two cards back here are more about you knowing that what you did or what you, like, the decision that you made, it's something that you're really excited about, but I feel like you just, like, it's just, there's so much. This is a bunch of chatter right here, okay? The fact that you've made that decision and the fact that you aren't letting yourself rest means you're not letting yourself have this joy. And that's what I'm trying to say. This little kid is excited, wants to share the knowledge, wants to share its creation, and you need to give yourself that same. Then we got the Six of Wands in its reverse position. So this is a victory card, and it's assured victory no matter in its upright or its reverse position. But in its reverse position, it's about you celebrating the small victories. Because the big victory is going to come, but it's not going to be in the way that you think it is. But the small victories are where it counts. So if you've been struggling to, keep your house clean, celebrate the fact that you washed 5 dishes. Celebrate the fact that you did a load of laundry. Celebrate the fact that you took the trash out. If you, struggle getting yourself to work on time, celebrate any time you ever get to work on time. Like, literally celebrate the times that you do it. Celebrate anything that you can do to realize and acknowledge that, you do have power. You do have control. And let yourself revel in it. Let yourself feel the excitement of, oh my goodness, all these small things are working in my favor, and then see over time how it just compounds and builds on top of each other, because that's what you got going for you right now. You can do this. Now I want to ask Spirit what it is that we can do to get us past this, like, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, yeah, it's a block, it's a barrier, but, like, I feel like it's just It's not even that it's doubt. I feel like you just are so convinced that the thing that you're excited about doesn't matter. And I feel like you're just holding yourself back because you're afraid of getting hurt almost. So I want to know what actions we can take in order to let ourselves just do the thing that we want to do to get us to the point where we can almost trick ourselves into, you know, doing the thing without us even realizing that we're doing it. And I mean that in a sense like, okay, so when my ADHD likes to tell me that now is not the time to record something, or now is not the time to clean something, or now is not the time to do anything, I don't fight it anymore. I say, okay, I'm listening to you, but maybe we can just do this one really small like thing that will make it easier for when we are ready. And then next thing I know, I'm able to trick my brain into doing the thing that I wanted to do. So like if I'm trying to do dishes, which was something I struggled with for a while, I trick my brain into allowing me to do dishes because I'll just be like, okay, let's just organize the sink. Like we don't have to do dishes. I just want to organize the pots and the pans in a pile, the plates in a pile, the silverware in a pile, and then, you know, we'll just leave it at that. And then my brain's like, oh, okay, that's fine, because that's not actually doing dishes. And then, like, I do that, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I'm just gonna wash this small pile, and then I'm gonna, like, it just, like, keeps leading into me doing more things. So I trick myself into doing something that I myself also don't want to do at the same time, and I feel like that's what you're doing. And I'm sorry if that's really confusing for everyone, but I really felt the need to share that, so if it resonates, awesome. Let me know in the comments below. All right, past, present, and future. So I was asking what actions that we were supposed to take, and that gave me this card. This card seems like ominous, but really, it's just a reminder that you can only be in the present. What I love about this card is like, so obviously it's a 2D card, and if like one of the birds was facing us, it would look weird, but all three birds are in the same stack. Even if one's looking in the past, one's looking in the present, and one's looking in the future, they're all in the same pile. So this is just asking you to be present, to put yourself in a space where you can do things now. Because guess what? You can't do anything about a second ago or 5 years ago, and you can't even get to tomorrow without doing something today. Because today, in this moment, in this precise moment, is all you have. Grounding. All right, that's solid advice. So maybe it's because we're consuming too much, or we're thinking too much, or we're trying to be more than, you know, what is really meant for us to be. And maybe we just need to, you know, put our feet in the earth and touch grass. Maybe you just need to sit in meditation and take a breath. That rest that you're refusing to do, maybe meditation's required at this point. Maybe you need to do some breath work. Journaling can also be very grounding. Allow yourself just to connect back to source, so that way you can find that maybe a lot of the answers that you're looking for are actually just right inside of you. Slow but steady. All right. So this card has always been a favorite of mine because I'm not gonna lie. I like anything with spirals, and I like anything that has like rain or tears. But this one is that reminder too that it's not about, you know, rushing to the end. And this is kind of like the whole like destination is an illusion thing, but it's a reminder to just enjoy the process. And you're gonna be like, Kirsten, I'm in a shitty place and you want me to enjoy this? I don't want you to enjoy being miserable. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to enjoy the small wins. I want you to enjoy the growths. I want you to enjoy the parts where you can be like, oh my goodness, I wasn't able to do this 2 weeks ago. I want you to enjoy the progress, because slow but steady is that reminder that progress is progress no matter how small. Omens. So this is a simple one, and it's just about asking for signs from the universe. A lot of things I feel doubtful about or feel confused about, I'll just tell the universe like, hey, give me a purple spotted dog with green spots on it, and I need to see it next to a blue tree. And like, I will be that specific, and if I don't see it, then it's not meant for me to do. But dear God, if half the time I don't end up seeing it. Like, and it's the weirdest thing too, because it's like the purple spotted dog next to a blue tree will be a dog that has like a purple jacket with blue or yellow spots, and like it'll be next to like a cat tree that's blue, like in the shape of a tree. And I'm like, okay, universe, that's funny, but I guess I'm doing the thing. Like, the more specific you are about asking for your signs and asking for your omens, the more you're going to be able to trust your instincts on this, and the more you're going to surprise yourself. The other thing about omens too is it's that reminder to pay attention to your surroundings, because maybe there's a lot more going on that you could figure out if you just looked around and opened your eyes. Omens is not one of those things that comes in and tells me that bad things are coming to you or that you're going to receive bad omens. It's the exact opposite. It's about you needing to look for and pay attention to and seek out your own. And trust your instincts, trust your intuition about that too, because I promise it's all connected. All right, now I just kind of want to ask the cards nicely. What is it that we need to hear? What is it that we need to know? What is it that can give us encouragement through this tough time? What is it that can just inspire us to make the difference that we need to make? You are growing into the person you are meant to be. So this is this reminder that while the hardships, are they something that you should be celebrating? No, not really. I was abused, I've been raped, and I've had plenty of other hardships, and I don't celebrate any of that. But I trust that all the struggles and all the things that I had to do to get past the traumas are what made me the person I am. And I trust that, you know, in this moment, whatever I struggle with, it's to help me reveal a little bit more about myself. Because while the shitty things that happened to me sucked and were shitty, there's no way around that. What's also important to know is while I had no control of those things happening to me, I do have control on how those things shape me and what I make of them. What you're currently going through is fulfilling a purpose. All right, I'm seeing a theme here. So back to what I was saying about how, like, the shitty things that happened in my life, yeah, were shitty. But if I wouldn't have gone through any of that, I wouldn't have been as interested in learning about mental health and learning about how the brain works and how, you know, my past and how it influences my current reality and how I can change my behaviors and change my thought processes. It's those things that led me to become a tarot reader and a spiritual life coach and have the ability to understand shadow as much as I do. Because I had to learn to really, you know, understand how repressed emotions affect us. I was forced to in such a way that it affected my life if I didn't. You know, what you're going through is currently fulfilling a purpose. Sounds all, you know, love-lighty and enlightening, but at the end of the day, it's a shit show, but it's gonna help you understand, you know, that what you're going through is going to help you become somebody that's going to be able to use these strengths that you're gaining from this situation to help make other people's lives better. And maybe just your own. Maybe you don't care about other people's, but maybe it'll help your own. Harmony and words. Harmony and peace are already here. Search within yourself. So you're being asked to go internal. Not only are you asking to be present and to ground yourself, but grounding yourself also helps you find that inner harmony. So allow yourself to just go inside, go within, find peace, allow yourself to rest, stop resisting it, and just give yourself the grace to say, you know what's around me is not great, but what's within me is greater. Every season of life must come and go. Embrace the seasons of now. So the last card, once again, hitting home with its final message. This is one of those things where I like to remind you that every person, every one of you has a season, a summer, a spring, summer, winter, fall, and they're seasonal. It's not like we just go through one and call it done. And you just need to understand that when you're in your winter season, you have to let those roots grow. You have to just dig deeper. You have to do the work. So that way when spring comes, you have the strength to plant the seeds. So that way when summer comes, you have the ability to have the patience to weed. So that way when winter comes, you're ready for the harvest. But this starts with you embracing the season that you're in now, because it's not going to mysteriously change because you want it to. It's not going to mysteriously change because, you push yourself to make it change. It's going to take its own natural course, just like the seasons of the world, have their own seasons. We can't rush summer into fall. We can't rush fall into winter. We can't rush winter into spring. We could, that would be great, but, we're stuck with the seasons that we're stuck with. So just as, you're stuck with the seasons you're stuck in wherever you live in, you're also stuck with your own personal seasons, and you just have to embrace them as they come, because they are going to help you be the better version of you if you utilize them and take advantage of the lessons that they have to give you. And I understand that you're just I don't see how any of this applies to my current situation. The thing is you have to remember that everything that these cards are asking you to do is they're asking you to think outside the box and to go within. Which, if you're looking for what's blocking you and what your barriers are, it's probably that you're looking for constant external, answers or validation, and it all needs to come from internal. It all needs to come within. And if you're still confused, go ahead and write some questions in the comments. Hit me up in the comments. We have a whole collective and we're here to help each other. If you'd like to have a private reading to get more specific information about your specific situation, there is a link in the description below. Hit me up. I do still have some available dates. And I just also want to remind you that you're not going at this alone. There is a whole collective and you are now part of it, and we're here to support you and walk this path with you. So, go ahead and just trust that what you're going through, it's not the first time that someone's gone through a similar situation, and there's somebody here who can help you with this too. I love you and I wish you the best of luck. I know that things are going to get better for you if you continue to do the thing that's right for you, and I cannot wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.